Big Bad One, my retired Zoomie.
Yes, sir. What's happening with you? What's going on, Joel? You prefer to be called JD?
You can call me JD, Joel, the Fat Man, the Godfather, whatever you want, brother.
Okay.
How you doing, man?
Oh, I'm doing wonderful. Got back from my vacation to Barcelona.
How was Barcelona?
Oh, man, it was phenomenal. Loved it.
I told you it was good.
Loved it. Wine, the sangria, paella.
Yeah, that paella, man. That paella. Man, they make some good paella. It doesn't matter where you go, man. They got good paella.
Yes, sir. So it was really good. How about yourself? I've been flowing with you.
Been very good, man. Been busy, but good. I can't complain. I like busy because busy keeps you engaged and keep you moving. Kids and family are doing good. My mom's getting over being sick, so I can't complain about anything, brother.
Well, good. I'm glad to hear that.
How about you? I was reading your emails and it looks like you had some a passing in the family.
Yeah, one of my wife's aunt passed while we were on vacation. It was kind of unexpected, but we're working through it. Have in-laws coming in. They'll be here later on this afternoon, and then funeral Saturday. So it's just one of those things that happen.
Yeah, it's tough, man. How old was she?
Take the time to get together and.
How old was your aunt?
Address the funeral and everything, but everything was moving forward.
How old was she?
She was, I'm not sure. It was like, I think she is in her 60s, maybe 65.
Oh, man, that's young. That's young, bro.
It is.
That's young.
It is. And she's retired from the Air Force there. She was an 06 in the Air Force Reserve.
Wow, that's too bad. That's tough, man. I'm sorry to hear that. Hope all works out well. How's your wife doing?
She's actually doing well. Initially she was, a little taken back,
Sure.
But overall she's doing well.
So were you guys because you guys left right after the roundtable gathering to go to Barcelona. Did you guys talk about everything and strategize together?
Well, I try to, open and honest because that's the best way for you to get an idea of what's going on. My wife, she has her own business, and so initially, because she has her own business and she was working, then we weren't really sure how that was going to come together. So I just told her, focus on your business, focus on, your job. Like she is a consultant, so she had a 6-month contract that just ended. So now she's looking for a job and doing her business. So it's kind of like we'll have to kind of see how it's going to go with her.
Right.
So I just said, hey, I'm going to take the ball. I'm going to run with it as I need you, and you're available. Of course, I'll ask you for your assistance. But in general, I'm keeping her involved in terms of here's what I'm doing. Here's, what things look like going forward. So we're both at least on the same page of, I actually implement the plan.
Beautiful. Yeah, I'm glad I was able to meet her at the roundtable gathering. She doesn't think I'm a bad influence on you, does she?
No. What's funny is, like I said, I showed her, some of your videos, and so when she met, she's like, he is just like he is. So yeah.
That's why
like I said, she's very open. She's very, she's a people person. So no qualms at all about that.
I'm glad she picked up on that. I'll never forget when before my wife and I got engaged, I was out to eat. The three of us. I was out to eat with my soon-to-be fiance and my one sister. And my sister said, "Man, if there's one piece of advice I could tell you, if there's one warning I could give you," and she said,
right.
"What you see with Joel is what you get." As in, like, if you think. And I started laughing because it's true. She's like, if you think that he's going to be one of those guys that acts one way around his boys or his friends and acts a different way around you, it just doesn't happen. He is the same person 24/7. What you see is what you get. And it's true. It's true.
Right. Yeah, and like I said, I love that about you. You're very open. You're very honest. You keep it real, but you like to have fun.
Yeah.
So, it's a nice balance. It's a nice balance.
So let me ask you this: how you doing with? You're still driving for Uber, or how you doing with that? Where you at with everything?
Yeah, what I did is Uber for me was just a transition. So need to make some money. I need it also is a way for me to kind of get into my what I call my hustle mode.
Sure, I get that.
So, I was telling my wife yesterday. I said I'm so excited to get started with this business because I'm bored. I need something else to challenge me.
Sure.
And so I'm definitely looking forward to moving forward. Uber would be, for me, is like a filler as needed.
Sure,
If I
totally
need to
good.
get out of the house to make some quick cash, I could do that easily. But my focus will certainly be on, building this new, NEM2 business.
Sure. So are you still doing Uber right now?
No. I hadn't done it in probably two weeks.
Okay. So right before you left then.
Yes.
Okay. And what about the LLC? You already formed the LLC?
I did. My attorney, he formed the LLC maybe, I think he did it maybe, it's been probably been a little less than a month.
That's cool.
And so.
And you're the only one on there?
Yes. I'm the sole owner in the LLC.
And so you got 100% share. Your wife doesn't have anything on it.
No.
How much did your attorney charge you to form the LLC?
He didn't charge me anything because we have a good relationship, and he's
Man.
done some other work. Cause I have real estate. I was in multifamily that we sold a while back, and he didn't charge me instead of that.
Good. So last time I checked, you are a good-looking black man, which means you need to either get with your attorney or you need to go with the SBA, and you need to make sure you file this business, this LLC, as a certified minority-owned business enterprise. Capiche? You gotta
I'm going to do that.
make sure you do that. Also, so you should go after certified minority-owned business enterprise, and you also want to get certified veteran-owned business. You want to get both those. I mean, anything else you can get, but those are the two. I know because you're retired 30 years in the Air Force. Do you have any type of disability or anything? Dude, then you make sure you get disabled veteran-owned business enterprise.
Okay.
Those will definitely help us. Not so much tomorrow, but we want to lay the foundation. We definitely want to be able to feature those things on the websites, on your marketing material. We want to be able to, if we are filling out any type of applications for, even if it's just dealing with Medicaid or, through Department of Social Services, or if we're dealing with any type of broker, whether it's comp, Medicaid, whatever, they're going to ask those questions. Are you a minority-owned business enterprise? Are you a woman-owned business enterprise? Are you a veteran-owned? They're going to ask all those questions. So if you already have the LLC formed, you got the EIN and everything for it, bank account?
The EIN, I haven't done it, but I know that doesn't take very long.
No.
I'll have to do that today. And then the bank account, same thing. I wanted to make sure that, I was ready to move forward. So after I speak with you, I can just set up the bank account and get the EIN.
Okay, so you got your pen and paper with you? Because we're going to do a quick little to-do list
I'm taking
here.
notes now.
Good.
Yeah, I'm
So
taking
let's
notes as we talk.
So let's follow up with your attorney. Let's get the EIN number, because you're going to need the EIN number in order to go after to start the process for any type of certification. Talk to your attorney. If he can't do it, then get with your SBA. SBA will typically help you get those certifications. Typically, they'll help you free of charge. The reason I tell people, if you're not working with an attorney, to go with your SBA is because the certification process in each state is different. So, your SBA is going to be more in tune with, the current changes to any of those certifications. But either way, right now, off the top of my head, clearly we want to go after minority-owned business enterprise, disabled veteran-owned business. Anything else, we want to get that for sure. Because those will be of relevance, not, maybe not tomorrow, but as we get operational, as we go after a couple things, it will prove purposeful. And definitely in the future, as we scale the business, if we want to go after any type of legitimate government RFPs or contracts or anything like that, that will definitely be of relevance to us in the future.
I understand.
Capiche?
Because I did watch your videos, and you went through the session where you identified what contract give you the most weight in terms of business. So
Huge.
I do remember that.
Beautiful.
I do remember that.
Beautiful. And you didn't purchase any type of a vehicle yet, right?
No, I didn't. I was emailing Daniel again, and I was looking at this to stop, don't do anything.
Good.
So
Excellent. All right, I'm continuously looking for vehicles because I obviously work with a lot of different clients at the same time. So when I'm going to keep looking around. Now that you and I started one-on-one here, you and I are going to be in constant contact more by email than phone. But I mean, Dan, Charlie, Don, they may answer some nickel and dime questions throughout. But pretty much now that you and I are working together and engaged, you and I are going to be pretty much almost on like instant message going back and forth. So I'm going to be looking at for some different vehicle options. We want to get a good quality used vehicle. We want to get a vehicle that's going to last us for a good, we want to get no less than 3, but really we want to shoot for a good 4 or 5 years. We want to get out of it because those first 3 or 4 vehicles are going to be critical for us. So I'm going to look for some good options, send them your way. I see you got a great starting point in terms of financially. You guys have been really good with money, and obviously being retired, you guys are good. The good thing is this, is like some people will reach out to me and they put themselves in a position where it's like, man, it's like, what are you going to take out a second and third mortgage on your house to fund a business? We're not going to do that. And they put themselves in a position where they got to rob Peter to pay Paul. So the great news is you're nowhere near any of that nonsense. So we're going to be able to do this with no applied pressure. We're going to be able to move quickly, yet at the same time be patient and have no threat against, putting the house, the quote unquote house, at risk. House being literally your house, marriage or anything like that. So that's great. So I'm going to keep looking for stuff like that. What about, I'm going to talk about real quick, let me ask you this. What about this rental property? Where are you at with this rental property, is selling it?
Yeah, that rental property, the tenant actually wants to buy the property, and the property needs some remodeling. So I've been getting some estimates. It probably needs about $10,000 in remodeling. But the tenant needs to work on his credit. So I texted him yesterday. He said he's using the first-time owners program and his finance person. So he said he's about 6 months away from being able to make the purchase. So in 6 months, we'll see if he can sell, or he can buy, and then in terms of the remodeling, I have some money set aside for that, so I've got an estimate, so I'm just waiting for the last estimate, but the plan is to sell it in 6 months.
Is this the one
if he's not able to buy, go ahead.
Is this the property you only own 40 on, or is it the 83?
Yes. This is one I owe 40 on. This is one. So
beautiful.
It's probably for maybe between 110 and 120.
So if you sell it to him, are you gonna owner finance that on a land contract, or is he gonna buy it outright?
He's gonna buy it outright.
Good. That's the way to do it. That's good. That way, especially with you being so many states away, it's not even worth trying to do a land contract and then he defaults and you got to reclaim the property. It's a pain in the butt.
No. If he can't buy it, the only thing I would do is just keep him as a renter.
Good.
So until I stick with it.
How long has he been a tenant for?
He's been there probably 4 to 5 years. I want to say.
Oh, good. That's awesome. What about the other rental property valued at $165? You gonna hold on to that one too?
Yeah, that one. The plan is to hold on it for now. Unless something drives me to sell it, but for now, just hold on to it.
Good. No, I get it, man. Love it. So going back to your LLC, do you have any type of thoughts on logos or anything, or marks and images?
I didn't because I know that I saw some of the emails from your team that does the website. Okay. So I wanted them to do the website, so I said, well, let me not do anything yet because I wanted to use their expertise
Cool.
versus just kind
I
of
get it. I get
coming
it.
up with
Awesome.
something. So I just went with that a lot.
Good. All right, then what I'm going to do is I'm going to reach out to Tom. Tom's my lead guy. We got 4 different people, 4 different developers. I'm going to give him a heads up. I'll give him the LLC name and get him. I like to give him some time to sit on it and stew on it, let his creative juices get flowing a little bit, see what he can come up with. What are your thoughts on color scheme?
I think I listened to some of your information, and you mentioned something about the different colors that are, to kind of draw in people based on these color schemes. So
Sure.
I didn't do anything. I just wanted to kind of be open and, kind of let him kind of drive like, hey, what do you think about this? And kind of go.
Beautiful.
So I hadn't made any
Okay.
decisions.
I will. So then I'm going to send Tom an email, let him know, brief him on our conversation, name of the LLC, kind of let him stew on it for a little bit. So hopefully we can get cracking on your website. Because when we do the website, the thing with us when we do the website, I always do the verbiage. So I got a lot of your notes and everything. So I shouldn't need a whole lot of additional information. Maybe a little bit. What I'll do, in fact, why don't you do this for me? I always tell people to send me a resume. And now when I say resume, I need nothing formal. I just need a couple of paragraphs talking about your educational background. Don't worry too much about dates, but give me some at least general years. Because what I do is I basically want to take all your information. I want to take your educational background, your work experience, your current situation, whatever. I want to take the whole thing and I put it together to really build that narrative, because we want the website and the content on the website to literally be able to connect and resonate with the audience. The audience being a prospective client, the family member who, that son or daughter who lives out of state and they're looking for a service to transport their mother and they're looking for someone reliable. That staff, that unit secretary or even the administrator. One thing we'll do too, because when we do your website, we'll also put together some marketing material. And the marketing material, we want to have continuity and messaging from the website to the marketing material to also the executive welcome packet. Maybe some of the people at the roundtable gathering, they may have told you about that, because we worked on it for some of the other people too. So the executive welcome packet is going to be when you go and when you're soliciting facilities. Remember, everything that I'm going to push you to do is to really harvest and develop those relationships with the facilities, so we can go after and position ourselves for private pay, contracted and service agreement work versus the broker stuff. So with that being said, we want the website to be tight and make it look legit. We want continuity of messaging with the marketing material. The executive welcome packet you'll take in when you go in and you solicit these people, the facilities, and you're meeting with the actual decision makers, not the actual lady at the front desk, not her, but when you actually are going to sit down with that administrator, maybe the director of social services, the director of nursing. You're going to go in there with a spiral bound. It's going to help lead your presentation so you don't waste anyone's time. You look professional. You look top shelf. You'll also have your website on there. And you'll leave those behind. So that way, when you leave, it would be great if they have to, they have some downtime and they see how your executive welcome packet looks and they start flipping through it. We want them to do that. That's why you're going to leave those behind. So we want the messaging to be the same from the website to the executive welcome packet to all the marketing material, all that kind of your business cards, the rack cards, the postcard, everything that we're going to put together for you. So that's good. So I'll give Tom a heads up, get him thinking about that. But on your to-do list, so put your pen to paper. Your to-do list is to send me a resume. Again, nothing formal, but just give me the like your educational background, anything you majored in, any of your work experiences, and just write some thoughts about what brought you to the NEMT industry, because how'd you get here? Because again, I'm going to take all that. We're not going to make any BS up, but we're going to basically say we're going to tell your story so that it resonates and connects with people. That's what's key.
Got it.
Capiche?
Capiche.
So, let's see. I'm looking through all your notes and everything here because I probably have everything printed out for me. So, no CPA. You got a tax preparer. Cool.
You said, did you ask about the CPA?
I'm just reading the notes here. You said you're looking for a CPA. You have a tax preparer.
Oh, I found one. I did find one. My attorney, he referred me to a CPA that's really good about that a couple weeks ago. And I'm going to use him for my CPA, so I do have a CPA.
Okay. Okay.
In fact, earlier before you called, actually, he recommended I use QuickBooks, and I don't know what your thoughts about that. So I've been doing some tutorials on how to set things up.
Yeah. I mean, you can't go wrong with QuickBooks. QuickBooks is, my big thing is this: whether you use QuickBooks or like that accounting software system we got, the admin accounting, I don't care. I mean, QuickBooks is definitely more robust because you could even do like, direct checking and payments through there and everything. I don't care, just as long.
Right.
I'm all about numbers, and you personally, as a business owner, you need to be in control of your numbers 24/7. So any work you do needs to be invoiced that day or shortly thereafter, or you need to have someone doing it. You need to be able to pull up a P&L at any point in time. You can't be held hostage of, like if I was to say, Juan, let me see your P&L for last month or year to date. Well, let me get with my accountant. She's going to have it next week. I should have it by the end of the month. That's not how business works. You should be able to have your numbers at your fingertips 24/7. So I don't care if you use admin accounting, QuickBooks, whatever, as long as it gets done and it's managed properly and you're always on top of it. That's my big thing.
Okay, sounds good.
So, all right, brother. I'm just sitting here looking through all your notes that I got for you because I got about 4 pages here, so I'm going through everything. So, all looks good on my end. What questions you got for me right now?
One question was, what is the number one reason people don't do well, or maybe better, if they fail at the NEMT business?
How about this? We don't limit it to one. How about I give you a couple of reasons?
That's fine.
Good. I'm going to be biased in a couple of these answers, but first and foremost, why people do not succeed in the NEMT business, work. People don't want to work. I'm just being honest with you. I know we're not going to have that issue with you because, dude, you look at your resume, your work history, obviously, you work. And it's speaking with you and everything, you're motivated. And I see that you were driving for Uber from 5 a.m. to 3 o'clock. You don't get up and start driving at 5 a.m. and be lazy. That ain't gonna be a problem for you, bro. So, work. B, they try to. This is classic. I've preached this message 1,000,001 times, and we've talked about this at the roundtable gathering. I could go to the highest mountaintop and continue to shout it day in and day out, and people still won't listen to me. They build their house on sand. They go after the broker work, and then they go after more broker work, then they go after more broker work. And when they realize that they're not making enough money with the broker work, they think, okay, I'll just increase the volume of broker work. So that's why I say, if I'm drowning in 10 feet of water, the last thing I need is 5 more feet of water. But that's what people do. And they buy into all the broker nonsense. That's why everything I do is going to be teaching you to go after the private pay, position yourself for the contracted service agreement work. If that means that, and I'm just making up numbers here, if that means we have a fleet of 5 vehicles versus a fleet of 10 vehicles, but we're so highly profitable at 5 and we're not vulnerable, what position would you rather be in? You'd rather have 5. Because at the end of the day, it comes down to revenue. It comes down to our revenue and profitability and also vulnerability. So everything I'm going to do with you is to put you in a position ultimately so you don't even need me because you're not going to be vulnerable. So first and foremost, I would argue people don't work. They think this is going to be a business, a set it, forget it. That's why people go after, which leads to point number 2, people go after that freebie, low-hanging fruit because they think it's just easy. It's just you give me my trips every day, you tell me what it is, and that's what I got to do because I'm not going to go out there and try to build relationships and cultivate my own business because, well, let's go back to point number 1. That requires work. I'm not going to be creative in my marketing or strategies or solicitations and relationship building because, well, let's go back to point number one. That creativity requires work, and I don't want to work. I want to be lazy. Hence, I go after point number two, low-hanging fruit. So that's not what we're going to do. Then you have miscellaneous reasons, complete mismanagement of funds. Case in point, the topic we just talked about. We got to make sure that we manage our numbers. We got to manage our numbers. Your numbers should always be in-house. By all means, you do want a tax preparer. He or she can come quarterly, reconcile your books, whatever. That's great. You got your CPA, do your year-end tax return, critical. Got to have all that. But all along the way, we want to know every day how much money we're making, where we made money, how profitable, what our numbers are, what our margins are. So we got to be able to manage our numbers, mind our numbers. Keep your what as a great philosopher once said, what is it? Keep your money on your mind and your mind on your money, or however it goes. It's true, man. And you can't do that. You can't do that if you're not managing your numbers, brother. So we want to start small, be patient, work hard, and scale the business using a controlled growth strategy. You know what I'm saying, brother?
I understand.
What do you think, Zumi? What do you think? I said, what do you think, Zumi?
No. Everything you're saying is right on point because at the end of the day, I don't like spending money. I'm a saver about it. I don't like spending money and not getting return on investment.
100%.
So I like to get out there and hustle. And, my mother was the person who taught us how to work. So we had paper routes. We get up,
100%. Love it.
Things like that. So that is still in me. So Uber wasn't to make money. Uber was to make sure the hustle was still there.
Awesome. Love it. I get that. I get it. And I'm glad you see the difference, because I think I mentioned this at the roundtable gathering. Some of the Uber Lyft drivers will send me the hate mail because I keep telling them, you don't own a business, you own a job. But you get that, which is awesome. So I don't need to try to convince you otherwise. And again, the best thing about you right now, you're clearly, look at your information and your history, and you retire for 30 plus years from the Air Force. You begin up at 5 a.m. to drive for Uber and Lyft. You are not a lazy person. Your finances are in order, so we're not going to be robbing Peter to pay Paul. We don't have the external threats of worrying like we got to make money by next week, or the house is going to be in jeopardy. We don't have those problems. So we can implement a strong controlled growth strategy, move at our own pace. Like I tell people, some of the best deals that are the deals that don't happen. So people get all anxious. I got to get this done by a certain date, or they're not going to accept this, or we're not going to qualify for this, or we're not going to be able to go after that contract. Man, there is always going to be another deal. There's always going to be another deal. You may have to wait a little bit longer. You may have to look a little further, dig a little deeper. Who cares? You are in a great spot because, again, we have no external threats and we have no internal pressure that says, Juan, if you don't make money by a certain time, man, how are you going to pay for insurance? How are you going to do this? We don't have any of that, man. So we are just going to be cool hand Luke. We're going to move at a steady pace. You're going to see, we're going to get a lot done over the next 60 days. My goal is within those 60 days, have that a good, strong, solid used vehicle, lettered up, insured, ready to roll, have everything in hand, have you positioned to be able to go out there, meet with these facilities, start building those relationships. You should be fully ready to go within those 60 days, man.
Okay, I love it. That's what I'm definitely looking forward to, getting everything, the foundation built, like you said, the correct way in terms of being able to go out there and, my whole thing is, like I said, not building the business on fans. And I love the round table because I can physically picture everybody at the table, starting from your right, Jim and Kelly, all the way around to Marty, and the feedback you were giving each person based on where they were in their business. So I love that.
Great people, man.
And that really helped me to learn where to position myself from day one.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I want to do.
Let me ask you this one quick last question before I get. What is for your company name, the LLC?
In terms of, to your point, not necessarily technical, but constantly
Love it.
thinking of ways to company so I can, constantly, like I said, taking care of my clients, taking care of the business, which in turn takes care of my family.
Love it. Love it. All right, brother. So I'm going to send some emails. So your to-do list right away is to make sure you put some pen and paper, send me a quick, resume, nothing over the top or formatted, anything crazy. I don't need any of that. I'm going to send an email over to Tom, drop him some information about the name and kind of get his ideas on things. I will also follow up with you the next day or two with with another email, following up on some of the things we talked about. And as I get feedback from Tom, I'm going to share that with you. And then also, I'm going to be looking for vehicles because I'm always looking for vehicles for different clients. So I'm going to look for some good stuff. Hopefully, maybe something in state. If it's out of state, then we'll have to have it shipped to you. Whatever. Either way, we'll make it happen, man.
That sounds good. I did. In terms of the email, do you want me to send that to a specific email or just you?
No, I'll just send it directly to jdavis@milliondollars transportation.com. That used to be my.
Okay.
I guess you could still technically argue it's still my personal email, but it's been completely hijacked by business.
Yeah.
It's now.
Good thing, hijacked in a good way.
Yeah, it has, but it's literally become like the main hub now. So it's like you'd think like we would be sending people to like support at $1 Million Transportation or admin or but J Davis has been completely hijacked. So we have an internal bulletin board, so that way like when Dan and Charlie and Dom, when they see emails, they're set aside in different boxes, and I'm able to see what's important, what's not. So once now that you and I are working together, I'll see everything that comes through with you. Whereas before, they really serve as like realistically, as bad as it sounds, they're really my spam folders. They help filter out because we get a lot of emails, so they filter everything.
Right.
But once you and I start working together now, that's why I'll see everything that comes through for you. So.
I can understand. And then one last question was, you mentioned, I had your business plan, so I went through it. I actually started working on a business plan for my business and wanted to get your thoughts on getting qualified, for, some type of approval through the bank for it. I think you said like an emergency.
Yeah, definitely. Great question.
Like
Great question. I definitely want you to try to get a line of credit. Now, you want to get the line of credit. Here's what's going to happen. Your LLC is a new business. We want the line of credit in the LLC's name. So that's why you got to get. So a couple things. You got to get your EIN number. Definitely get, if you're not going to use a physical address, at least get a P.O. box. Make sure you get those so the business is legitimate. And when you go after a line of credit, there's a lot of different type of, they call them no documentation, based upon, your revenue coming in from your retirement as well as your, your income rental, stuff like that, your rental income. You should have no problem, especially because of your history, work history over these last couple of years. You should have no problem being able to get a good no-doc line of credit. Not so much that you're going to pull that money out anytime soon. You're not. But the line of credit is great for, especially as we're starting to build and grow, get a second vehicle, bring on an employee, get a part-time employee, get a full-time employee, whatever. Those lines of credits are going to help you to basically just cover, shortages or gaps in your cash flow. Because think about it, if you let's say we do get a service agreement or a contract, whether it's with a nursing facility or a hospital, let's say their terms are net 30, if you got little shortages for make sure you cover payroll, you never miss a payroll. You can never embarrass yourself by missing a payroll. So that's where a line of credit could also help you as well. So you will personally will have to guarantee that, but who cares? I mean, you do what you do. I mean, you're going to personally guarantee, so we want to get it in the business name, but they're still going to make you do a personal guarantee, but who cares? It is what it is, man. It's price doing business.
Yeah, I've done that before, so that's not an issue at all.
Very good.
Okay, so I'm glad I asked you so, but I think that's all I have for now. I think you covered, pretty extensively. I have some action items in terms of looking into the minority business enterprise certification, veteran disabled one.
Definitely.
EIN, send a resume to you, looking into the no doc line of credit. And of course, I'm working on the address thing right now, but the PO box or another address.
Beautiful.
So good, and I'm excited.
Awesome, brother. All right, man. Give my best to your wife, man. I hope you guys have a good weekend with the situation with the passing of your guys' aunt and everything. That's tough. So I wish you and the family well. But I'll be in touch for sure. And from here on out, you and I'll be working together. We'll make it happen, brother.
Yes, sir. Looking forward to it, Joe. I appreciate you. It was good to meet you. I forgot to mention, I appreciate you allowing me to go to the round table. I know that for me, that was just unbelievable. So I just wanted to let you know that I definitely appreciate you for that, and that made a huge difference.
Hey, man, I'm all for it, brother. I'm glad you were there, man. It was great having you. So, all right, brother. I'll hit you up soon. Look for my emails, and likewise, send me info as you get it.
I will do that. Thanks, Joe. Have a great weekend as well.
You too. Thanks, brother. Bye.